Girlfriend wanted open relationship. Hey True, hope you good, you and your followers. I have another story of my girl looking for an open relationship. I don't know why it's like a pandemic these days when girls start looking for open marriages. So I met this girl, I will name her Mary, when we were like 26. When we met, I told this girl that I'm not for marriage because I don't want the government to make me sign some contract that will always put me on the wrong side, no matter what. But I told her I'm all for loyalty and exclusivity. I'm not the best looking guy, but not bad either. I met this girl after I went through some terrible things with a girl, Becky, I met in high school. But this is another story I will send you some other time if you want to hear it. Anyway, back to Mary. When I met Mary, she was so beautiful and she knew she was hot. I had gotten out of prison and had to go to a community college and graduated as an architect. Thanks, Becky. When I met Mary, I was hired in a small company. The cash wasn't bad for a single person, but it could be better. I went on to have a few years of experience under my belt, and I started to go on my own. My business was doing great. I could afford few luxuries like an upper middle class lifestyle. Then one day I had a customer come in with their family to ask for my service. Then I laid eyes on this chocolate beauty. The body was out of this world. When I say she was made from taking time, I mean if. Then at one point our eyes locked on each other and she shyly put her head down while smiling. We kept locking eyes throughout the meeting. So after the meeting with her parents, I gave her dad my personal number so that we can go over any changes as I work on the project. The reason I gave him my personal number was so that when I'm at home, after hours, we could just talk about projects and changes and so forth. After a day, I received a call from an unknown number. It was some girl and it was after hours. I asked who it was and she said her name is Mary. And I was like, I know no Mary. And she was like, but we have met and so forth. Then she told me was the daughter of my client and stuff. So we started talking and we hit it off and stuff. After a few months, we went on our first date. It was so well, we just complimented each other. The romance was out of this world. She told me she was an accountant in one of the big firms in the city and all that stuff. At that time, she was making more money than me, but she didn't mind at all. So after a year of dating and sleeping at each other's places, she asked me to move to her place because it was bigger and location was a good location. Not that my location was bad, but it was better than mine, that's for sure. So one of the worst things you can do as a guy is move into a girl's place. I learned the hard way. So after when I was there, I was made to pay for bills, buy groceries, and all expenses of the house, holiday trips, and all eating outs, while her money she used for herself and her friends only. And when we had an argument, I was reminded that it was her house and I can move out any time. I don't know why I didn't move, because I was spending more than I used to when I was staying alone. Fellas, I repeat, do not move in to a girl's place. After a few years of dating, she just changed. The bedroom action went from 100 to 20 to 0 real quick. She started going out with her friends more, spent more time on her phone. She just really didn't care about us anymore. So I tried to talk to her, but she just dismissed me. So to escape the stress, I buried myself in my business. It started growing. At the end of 2 years, it was doing double what it did. It started booming, and I moved into a bigger office. From 4 employees to 10. Year it was doing great. Our bedroom action was still low, maybe twice a month at that time. The good thing I did was keeping everything to do with the business away from Mary, so she didn't really know how much my company was making. One day when I was home watching a game, Mary comes to me and says she has some important thing that she needs to talk to me. Remember, I told this girl that I don't condone cheating, but I don't want to be married either. Thanks, Berkey. Mind you, this time, I'm just getting 1S or twice a month on the bedroom. Her excuse was the stress of her work and stuff. So she sits me down and tells me she wants to open our relationship. Her friends have told her how it has helped their relationships and how they are enjoying them. and stuff. I asked her to repeat what she said again. Mind you, I loved this girl. She was the center of my universe. So I just thought about it like I didn't want to lose this girl, so I said, okay, fine. I agreed to it. She laid down the rules and stuff. I agreed to everything. This girl goes to take a shower changes and says she is starting with her open relationship. Not even 2 hours after she said this crap. Every 2 days, she would go out and get a data. While leaving me behind, I tried to schedule dates with this girl, tried to make home-cooked dinners for her, tried buying expensive gifts for her with the hope that she will change her mind, but nothing. So one Saturday was so stressed about one project, I tried to take a walk by the park to clear my mind and just think about what my life has turned into. I met this Asian girl, I will call her Lynn, from Vietnam. She was in the States for her master's degrees, and she was already promised a job in some tech company when she finished. We started talking, then we exchanged numbers. We kept in touch with each other every single day for about a month, meeting when she was free and going out on dates. I told her about my situation and she didn't mind it at all. At this time in my home, the bedroom action was zero, nothing. We were basically brother and sister. One day Mary was saying she wanted to cook dinner. I said, okay. When she was preparing dinner, I was on the phone with Lynn, laughing and enjoying my time. Then Mary asks me, who am I talking to? I told her everything, that it was some chick I met. She was happy, saying that I will also enjoy this open thing. Mind you, me and Lynn connected in a level that I have never connected to with any other girl. She would cook these Asian dishes and would always take care of me. When I suggest going out to expensive restaurants, she would refuse and say she will prepare something for us. She refused gifts and all that stuff. And the sex, wow, the sex was the best I have ever had. I'm still smiling when I think of the sex. Mary started noticing that I stopped taking her out to dates, stopped with gifts, and stopped cooking or even eating at the house. She tried to initiate some sex, and I stopped her, saying I was tired, and I went to take a shower and went to bed. As I slept, I was awoken by a hot slap across my face. It was Mary. She was going through my phone. She accused me of cheating and having an affair with Lynn. I then told her I only had a relationship with one girl, while she'd been humping the whole town every 2 weeks. She then demanded me to break it off with Lynn, and she now wants to close our relationship. I told her she was crazy and there is no way I'm breaking it off with Lynn. She then told me that she just slept with those guys and didn't invest any feelings, so it's not cheating, while I have invested feelings on Lynn. I then reminded her that I told her I want a monogamous relationship, and she was the one who said we should open our relationship. While she was there screaming, I took her phone and opened it. I found out she had been cheating right from the day our sex went down, and for her to open relationship, it was just so she stopped coming up with excuses. I then took my phone and car keys and left and went to Lynn. I spent 2 weeks straight at Lynn's, and boy oh boy, I was dished too every day, both at the kitchen and at the bedroom. Wow. After the 2 weeks and countless amounts of calls and SMS, I went to Mary's place to talk. She started talking about how sorry she was and we can save our relationship and all that crap, while I was packing my bags of all my stuff, that she will be faithful and will be the best girlfriend ever. I then told her that our relationship was dead way before the open relationship thing. She started yelling at me and say that hoe won't give you what I have. She is not pretty like her, which was true, but Lynn was not bad. Maybe a 6 compared to an 7.5 of Mary. I said it's okay. It was my choice. Then she started shouting, what does she have that she doesn't have? I looked at her and said she respects me and she listens to me. Closed the door behind me and left. After 2 years of dating Lynn, we got married. Yeah, I know I said I'm never getting married, but we married in her home country. We now have 3 beautiful girls, and that connection we had, When we started, we still have it even today. We a bit old, I'm 40, and she is 38, but we still get it in like rabbits. The reason I still support Passport Bros. I met Mary a few weeks back. Damn, all I can say is I'm glad I ran from her. She is a single mother of 5 and had 4 failed marriages. Her face was ruined by Botox. She is one of those ladies who don't want to accept that she got old and still thinks she is in their 20s. She asked about Lynn. I told her I married her and have 3 girls together. So true. Just want to say it worked out for me, and maybe you one day it will work out for you. And just glad that me agreeing to the open relationship thing has led me to the best woman in my life right now. I sold my business to some company and they kept me as a consultant who works remotely. Lynn quit her job as well and we went into farming, bought a huge land, and we started vegetable farming. Let's see another email. Story. My best friend broke me, cheated, and ghosted. My best friend cheated and broke me. I didn't quite know how I could help myself. Not too long ago, my best friend of 7 years and I were having a heart-to-heart chat. We did almost everything together. Same hobbies, interests, TV shows, gaming for hours, everything you'd expect best friends to do. This night around 1 a.m., we were chatting, and she was elaborating further on her past relationship. Her ex was emotionally manipulative, and she was in a very bad state during this relationship. Her ex admitted to just trying to use her. I felt so sorry and did my best to comfort her. I stood by her and just tried to help her be happy and not cry per night. She broke up with this guy eventually. This convo took place some months after that. We get talking, and at this point, both of us have had horrible relationship lives. After chatting, I decided to ask her a question that I could only help consider time and time again over the years. What if we were together? Her response was that she'd be in a better spot and that she'd feel comfortable for the first time in a while. And so I had asked. I asked my best friend to be my girlfriend, and she said yes. We were both so happy, and at first things were great. We were both in such better places. We cried together, hugged, and cuddled. We talked about our past and how things were. This is the girl I've had the single most things in common with throughout my entire life. We were always mistaken as being together. I really did begin to truly love her. I talked to her mother about it, and she supported me in what I felt. She said that after everything, the tears, the memories, and all of the time together, I had every right to feel love for her. We did everything couples do, but soon she began to become distant, and it just wasn't the same. She wouldn't reply to my messages at all, and so I asked her if something was wrong. She said she wanted to break up. I was crushed after this all, but I respected her opinion. I asked her why, and she just ignored me. I hadn't talked to her since, but a few weeks later she asked to FaceTime me. Her details made me cry so much. She was just using me because she knew I'd be a desperate pushover. She instead decided to get with the old football player while we were together. She told me that he ended up ghosting her and that she was sorry and wanted to reconcile with me. I wasn't able to go a day without crying over what had happened when she called. I felt horrible, and I still do. I thought that I could truly love her after so much pain. To be able to show this affection and intimacy to someone like her who I thought could actually be close with. Back to the call, she told me that she was so sorry and that she shouldn't have used me. I told her no, I couldn't do that. After that pain she caused me, I couldn't take her back like that. She said she understood. I said thank you. And then she proceeded to go about using every insecurity I had shared with her against me as to why I was never able to have a real girlfriend. I hung up and conceded that she was probably right in her statements. It's true what she said. I'm not a normal person, and her main points of me liking astronomy too much, acting too mature, and having hobbies no one else cares about is true. No girl would want to spend time with me in that way, and that was the mindset I am trying to get out of having. I began to recover and change my mindset, but then I found out more that just brought me right back to where I was. She decided to poke fun of me to some mutual friends who sided with her, and they added to this list of why you will never find love. Amongst other things, some new additions were that I was too much of an old style person, don't have style, don't do anything girls would like now, am not social enough, spend too much time with old people, and talk too much about stuff no one cares about. I don't know what I did to deserve those kinds of statements, and I really could care less. The only thing that hurts is that it had to be her. I blocked her consistently, and she'd find ways to still send me messages that prey on my insecurities as a person. I felt defeated, hopeless, and lonely. She really had me down in deep sadness during that time. Nothing was really going right, and I was dealing with family-related illnesses. Things began to get better, though. Her mother reached out to me, has known me for that time too, and asked why we weren't together because her daughter found it unimportant to tell her. I told her what happened, and she was absolutely appalled. My ex-best friend still lived with her and was promptly kicked out, and the mother is looking to cut all contact and cut her out of her will. She has no love left for her daughter for doing such heartless things, and really apologized to me for this happening how it did. I appreciated her reaching and decided to ask her how my ex-best friend was doing. She's failing all of her classes and is down bad over that football player, who after finding out she cheated, told his friends, which did spread and led her to become more isolated from everyone else. Even the rest of those mutual friends tried to apologize to me, to which I just ignored completely. As her life crumbles, I'm doing amazing. Everything is going great right now, and I'm happy to have gotten my revenge in a way for someone I've known so long. I apparently didn't see this other side of her. I know that she tried calling her mother and told her she's not in a great place right now. Her mother told her she probably shouldn't have cheated and screwed up her best friend. My ex-best friend did cry from that, and well, she did reach out to me again via email, explaining how her mental state right now was and how bad she feels. It's all just nonsense, I think, though. As she suffers, I thrive.